Mathematics, entertainment, truth, history.
Reloaded.
Shout out to Sha-Rock from Rock the Bills. Shout out to Sha-Rock from Rock the Bills.
The legendary Miss Sha-Rock. That's right.
And if it had not been for MC Sha-Rock, it wouldn't be no me and the rest of us girls. You feel me? But
that's right. That's right. Sha-Rock was the first. That's right. Lauryn Hill.
Hold on.
In the Bronx, we had Sha-Rock. In Queensbridge, they had Roxanne Shante. But you gotta remember, Sha-Rock was doing it before Roxanne.
You are to hip-hop what Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, and Aretha Franklin is to R&B. Sha-Rock, you are that queen to us in hip-hop, all right?
Sha-Rock, don't stop. Just turn on your mic when you're ready to.
I want to give a special shout out to the one and only, the first female MC Sha-Rock out of the Bronx. Sha-Rock was definitely the first female MC I ever heard on the mic. This was back in '78 when I got my first cassette tape of the Furious 4 MCs, and then shortly after that I got the Funky 4. And when I heard Sha-Rock, it was the first time I heard a female spit on the mic, and her voice and the way she flowed, she was able to hold her own with some dope brothers on the mic as well. So big shout out to Sha-Rock, man. She definitely is the queen of MCs, and she definitely opened the door for all you female MCs. So definitely you owe it to her.
I love this queen so much. I wouldn't be doing what I was doing if it weren't for her. My name wouldn't be what it is if it weren't for her. So all praises due.
Because one of my favorite rappers, when I first heard rap, at one point Sha-Rock was my absolute favorite.
Shout out to Sha-Rock.
Was my absolute favorite over everybody.
For some of y'all that don't know who Sha-Rock is, she's the first female rapper. I'ma say it again. She's the first female rapper. Started in the 70s, raised in the Bronx, New York, and she was actually the first female rapper to perform on television. She was part of that group called Funky 4+1. We know her today as the first lady of hip-hop. She's actually the mother of hip-hop, but she doesn't get the credit she deserves. I'ma let her tell her story. You already know this, the Meth Lab.
I didn't choose to talk about this history on Rock the Bells radio. It's because I wanted to make it intimate. I wanted to be able to have to be able to express myself the way that I want to, because I'm about to take you to school because all of y'all was misled. And the reason why we are here today is because back in the 90s, I was over in Germany with my spouse. He was in the military. We came back in 93. And so when I got back from Germany, I had a female MC that had came out, after me. She said, look, Sha-Rock, you need to check what's going on. Because some people is out here saying that they the first female soloist, they the first female MC of hip hop culture. So once I began to start realizing who was saying this, I shut them down. I thought I shut them down. And so this is what happened. And this is why we're here today. Now, for the last week, month, information has been put out there. This is Women's History Month. It's also the 50th anniversary of hip hop culture. I get it. I get it. Everybody that came up, all the females that came up with me in my era, before 79, before the onset of hip hop records or rap records, I get that they want their story to be told as well. It's only right. Because a lot of us was on the ground, on the front line, making sure that we carry this trillion-billion-dollar business forward. But in the midst of all of this, some of them lied to you. And so for me, I always felt, I said, look, they know the truth. Why would they be out there lying? Why would they not tell y'all the truth? Because it wasn't the fact that I didn't have artifacts. I didn't have cassette tapes. I didn't have flyers and word of mouth. The people that was actually on the street at that time, the party goers, the hip hop enthusiasts that was out there, they knew the deal, but they didn't have access to the certain type of people that could push the agenda forward and have you believe that what they were saying was the truth. So let me start off here. And this is why we're here now. So let me give you a couple of names of MCs, female MCs, who may fit, or y'all made a thought, that was, the first female MC or a soloist of hip hop culture. I would start off with Amber, aka Pepsi. Let me tell you about Pepsi, and let me tell you Pepsi, and her name is also Amber. But Pepsi wasn't a rhymer. She would say something like "Get 'em bam." She would say something like, "Hey, the party's here" or whatever. But she wasn't a bar spitter. She didn't spit 8, 10, 15 bars, 20, 34, 56, whatever. That wasn't her thing. So one year, a couple of years ago, I should say, I said to Bambaataa, I said, why are you not supporting Queen Lisa Lee? Why are you not doing that? Because you went and got Queen Lisa Lee after me, to rock with me, to be able to deal with me, to have that atmosphere of a female a part of your group. So why are you not speaking up for her? He said, well, she not my first female MC. I say, the hell you say? I say, so if you don't speak up for her, I'm gonna get on there and tell the world how you went and got Lisa Lee to be able to deal with me. So you better make sure that you tell the world that Queen Lisa Lee is your first female MC, because you know what you did. And a couple of months later, M.E.T.H, Mickey Benson, who was on the phone with African Bambaataa and myself, made sure that Queen Lisa Lee was acknowledged. And that has been my friend, my go-to for the last 40 years. So let's go on to Smiley. Some of y'all may not have heard her name. Smiley would rock sometimes with Grand Wizard Theodore and the L Brothers before they became the Fantastic Five. And then sometimes she would rock with the Mercedes Ladies, which is the first, hear me now, the first all-female hip-hop DJ MC group in the history of hip-hop culture. But y'all wouldn't know that because y'all heard some other shit. And it's not to take away from somebody else, but these were the ladies that was on the ground helping to push the culture forward, moving it forward, and helping this $1 billion business that a lot of people have benefited from. So let's go next. When we talk about, who else? When we talk about Debbie D. Now, I know y'all done seen it. And me and Debbie D, we done got into it over and over again. Debbie D is out here claiming that she's the first female soloist. But Smiley was out there. Smiley was going back and forth, from the L Brothers to the Mercedes Ladies. Little Lee was out there. Sweet and Sour was out there. But let me tell you this. We have to go into another person, Pepley Pooh. So I know that Debbie D has been advertising that she's the first female MC of the first female soloist. And Pepley Pooh has been announcing for the last years that she was the first female soloist. But one thing they didn't tell y'all was that Sha-Rock is the first female MC of hip-hop culture. So no matter how much they play with the words, no matter how much they try to switch the word around and use the verbiage and all of that stuff, they misled you. Because when you see that first female soloist, of hip-hop, let's just say, or the first female soloist coming from both parties, that confuses y'all. Because you was like, well, damn. And so this is why we're here right now. This is why I'm here. Because from Facebook on down to Instagram, a lot of y'all that are hip-hop enthusiasts, y'all have reached out to me. Say, this is the Women's History Month. You need to break it down, Sha-Rock. You need to let us know what's going on. And the reason why I chose to do this, simply because for the last week or so, or the month or so, Pepley Pooh has gotten on the radio, major radio stations. She has did podcasts. Even for the last couple of years, she's been doing it. So she told a story to all of these radio and media outlets. A story that no one knew but Queen Lisa Lee, myself, and my daughter. So she tells the story of, I didn't know Sha-Rock. And I'm not saying it, she's saying it. I have the audio footage. I have people that sent me this stuff on podcasts. She said, I didn't know Sha-Rock until she was the Funky 4+1. She said, somebody came up and somebody said, you're not the first female MC, Sha-Rock is. And she said, well, you know what? That whatever your opinion, that's what it is. Whatever you think it is, that's what it is. She also said in these podcasts and all of this stuff, or all of these media things, that one time, me and Sha-Rock, we was down in Atlanta. We went to an all-female thing that Rip, which was having a DJ thing, but he brought all the females out. He brought Roxanne Shante. He brought me. He brought The Boss. He brought Queen Lisa Lee. He brought, Pebbly Pooh, the Brett. Everybody was out there. And she's told people just last week that me and her was going back and forth, right? And she said, you know what? I told Sha-Rock, I'm going to give it to you. You can have it. You can have it being the first female MC of hip-hop coaching. She said, because I can't serve two masters. She said, I'm already, the first female soloist, but I can't serve two masters. So I gave that to Sha-Rock. Now, this is what she told people on the media. She gave it to, she just gave it to me like I'm a bully, to be able to take something that wasn't mine. And that shit pissed me off because she didn't give me nothing. I earned everything that I got. But she didn't tell the media the true story. So let's go back. Before we got to Atlanta with Rip, for that DJ convention and all the female MCs was there, she called me up. She said, oh, Sha-Rock, I heard you're going to be headliner. On the headline, and it said the first female MC of hip-hop culture. So she said, I don't know why they do that, because I'm the first female MC. So I said, Pebbly, stop the bullshit. You're not. And this is the first conversation that we ever had, because people were telling me that she was the one that was going around saying that she was the first female MC. And then she switched it over to the first female soloist, when I got in that ass when I came back from Germany. And so she didn't tell the radio stations this part or the podcasters this part that she said. I said, Pebbly Pooh, when did you start? First, she said I started in 72, 73. I said, no, you didn't. I said, so you trying to tell me that you was before, Melly Mel, the Furious 3? She said, yes, I was. Then she came back and she said, well, I started in 73. So I said, Pebbly, you started in 73. You would have been about 12 years old. Me and Pebbly Pooh the same age. She was born in June. I was born in October. She started 72, 73.
Cursing.
So I was like, look, y'all forgive me exactly what I'm saying as far as, the verbiage, the cursing and all that stuff. But I'm really hyped right now. And y'all got to understand how I feel about it. So I'm going to try to limit, the abusive language and all of that stuff, right? So I said to her, I said, you didn't start in 72, 73. She said, yes, I did. I said, first of all, my DJ Barron, who was with Kool Herc, on the first night that he gave that party at 1520 Cedric Avenue for the B-boys and the B-girls that was going back to school. Now, Pebbly 13 years old. No, I said, 11, 12 years old. So I went to my DJ, and this was many years ago. I said, Barron, I said, did Herc ever had a female MC before me? So he said, nah, where you get that from? I said, well, Pebbly Pooh, she out here saying that. He said, Sha-Rock, he never had no female MC, not when I was there. So Barron was with DJ Kool Herc from 1973 to 1977, of the summer of 77. And that's when he, formed the Brothers Disco, which it was him, DJ Breakout, and Jazzy D, which was the promoter. And so then KK Rockwell came, and then I came at the end of 1977. So let's go back. But I told Pebbly that. I told her, don't do that. Because if you tell them people and you lie, and you say you was there, I'm going to bring in all forces, and I'm going to break it down to everybody, because you're messing with my history, my family's history, American history, black history, my grandchildren's history, every history that has anything to do with hip-hop culture. So she didn't tell another person, another female MC that was there, and I'm not going to mention her name because I'm not going to bring her in there like that. She never told her the conversation that we had before. So that MC was riding for her because she believed that what Pebbly Pooh said was the truth. So with that said, she didn't tell him. So with that said, Pebbly Pooh let it go when we was on the phone before we got down there. So when we got down to Atlanta, she said, okay, Sha-Rock, I'm going to give it to you. You're right. And she was crying. She was crying because she knew that all of these years she's been feeding y'all bull crap. She's been lying. Because I was in Germany. When I was in Germany and I was overseas traveling with my husband, this is one of the things that she said on the radio, just last week. She said, I'm going to tell you, I'm the first female soloist. And the reason why I am is because New York City gave me a proclamation. And the proclamation says in 2013 that I'm the first female soloist. But what she didn't tell that radio interviewer and everybody that was listening and everybody on that major radio station, that the only reason why they gave her that proclamation, because she didn't have me there, she didn't have Queen Lisa Lee there, she didn't have the Mercedes ladies there, she didn't have Little Lee there, she didn't have Smiley there, she didn't have none of us there to say that's bull crap. She's not. She didn't include us. She included somebody else outside of the Bronx to ride with her. And what she did over the years is that she traveled in packs. She traveled with, some of the females, MCs, on the West Coast, and on the East Coast. And she told them that lie. She told them that lie. So let me go back. 1978, remember that year. 1978 is the year of the MCs. The year of the MCs. Now, if you listen to Pebbly Pooh, and the reason why I'm bringing her name up most of all is because she brought my name up. Because last week she told them people that was listening to her on that radio station that she didn't know about Sha-Rock until Sha-Rock became the Funky 4+1. So let me take y'all back to 78, and that is the crucial year. That is the crucial year of MCs. There was no real MCs, no MCs or nothing like that before 78. Now, if you say, well, Coke La Rock was the first MC, then you know what? That's what he say. But Coke La Rock wasn't rhyming in the cadence of like what we were doing in 78. I was the first female MC to usher in the new cadence, the rhyming style, the back and forth, the harmonize and all of that stuff. I'm the female that did that, and every female followed me. I'm the female that did that. And we was Pebbly Pooh. 1978, Roosevelt Dynamite. He went on to be with Grandmaster Flash in the Furious 4, then the Furious 5. He was in her area. So mind you, Sha-Rock is already an MC. At the end of 1970 and 78, I'm on flyers. I'm playing at the Audubon goddamn ballroom where Malcolm X got assassinated. I'm doing big things. I'm on every flyers. I got videos of me in 1978 just rocking with Raheem, talking about the OJs, on this video, which if y'all don't know what an OJ is, it is, like the Uber and the Lyft now, where you can ride around for $20 all day. But it was luxury cars, that you can ride around, and they were called OJs. I'm the first female MC on cassette tapes. Y'all may call them mixtape, but we call them back then cassette tapes. And so what I did was I used to rhyme. The OJs used to take my tapes along with the Funky 4. And of course you had the Furious 5 or the Furious 4 that was making tapes too. But they would play these tapes in the cars and travel around, New York City or all of them up and down the 95 corridor that you could ride for $20. And this is one way that hip hop spread it. Through flyers, through word of mouth, through cassette tapes. I'm the female that was on cassette tapes. But let's go back to 78. Pebbly Pooh tells the story that, oh yeah, I was a B-girl, and she said I was everywhere. And I heard she was a B-girl, but she wasn't everywhere. She wasn't everywhere because I didn't see her. I started off in 1976 as a B-girl. I was a nomadic B-girl that traveled around. And yes, they say she was with the Smokatrons, and she was. But she didn't travel outside of her era like I did. She didn't travel. So in 1978, crucial year, Dynamite allowed her to get on the mic. Now we're talking summer, because he wasn't out there, in the parks in the winter. So we're talking summer. Sha-Rock is already out there. She's already out there. She's already moving the crowd. Dynamite used to have an 8-track that he used to press and play, and she got on and she do a rhyme, and she did a rhyme. But in these interviews that she gives, she tells a story that she wasn't an MC. She said that, this guy by the name of Dr. Bombay, I heard of him, used to write her rhyme, wrote about 8 bars and stuff, and she learned how to adapt to the situation, and all of that stuff. And then, Smokey, which is a well-known, DJ back then, he would say to her, you got to learn how to write your rhymes. But see, Sha-Rock came into the game as a lyricist. I didn't have to have nobody write my rhyme. I was built for this. You understand what I'm saying? And so once again, 78, she tells everybody that she's the first female MC, soloist. But there were many people that was out there, many females out there that was active. Pebbly Pooh is not on any flyers, y'all. From 78 to about late 79. She's on no flyers. She's on no cassette tapes. She never played in an inside hip-hop venue. But she don't tell y'all that. But when Sha-Rock talks about being the first female MC of hip-hop culture, being the first female MC to move this, culture forward, I was on over 500 flyers. 500 authentic hip-hop flyers. Now, that's not to even mention the parks that I played in. I played in every park that you could imagine in the Bronx, New York, on down to Manhattan, all up and down goddamn Connecticut, on in Staten Island, Long Island. I traveled. And I was able to do that simply because we had a sound system that was called the Mighty Mighty Sasquatch, which we learned how to build our system through listening to DJ Kool Herc and listening to also DJ Mario that was on, in the sound room section of the Bronx. So we build our sound system to make our voices sound good, to make the MCs, from the Funky 4 to the Funky 4+1 sound good. Now, she wasn't able to do that. She wasn't able to travel. Because back then, no one would let nobody get on their sound system if you was not a part of their crew. So she tells the story of like, one day I went up, and Dr. Bombay wrote a rhyme for me, and I got on, the mic for Kool Herc. And that's how she became the first female soloist rocking with Kool Herc. But let me tell you, Pebbly Pooh, there were other females, little females. I had, talked to one female, that was on Facebook. And she's the same age as I. She said, well, why Kool Herc was in my section. I got on the mic, and I start rapping. But that doesn't make you the first female MC of hip-hop culture. And that doesn't make you the first female soloist. Just because you said an 8-bar rhyme that somebody wrote for you and you got on. You have to be consistent in moving this culture forward. And you was not consistent because you did not rock no parties before 79. You did not no paid parties. You wasn't rocking in the park. You was rocking in your area, but you didn't move around to other areas. You didn't do that. Because if you did, a lot of people would not have known you from your song, Ooh Na 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 Na. But the thing is that I knew her. I seen her on a flyer in the 80s. Just like I seen Debbie D on the flyer in the 80s. Debbie D was not in nobody's parks, no matter what she told you. She wasn't on nobody's flyers before 79. But these are the lies that they tell y'all. Because they use my kindness for weakness. They have used my kindness for weakness. Because once again, they know me, sisterhood. I'm hip hop all the way. I tried to do that sisterhood stuff. But when you blatantly go after me, especially now, you're talking about Women's History Month and it's the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and you want to go after me and you want to call me out and you going to say you didn't know about me. I wasn't no Funky 4. I wasn't just no Funky 4+1 more. I formed the original Funky 4 before the +1 more. Way before records. The Funky 4+1 more came. We got our first record deal on Enjoy Records about 3 months before I joined the group when I left. And what happened was, I was the original Funky Four. It consisted of me, Raheem, that went on to Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. It was me, Raheem, KK Rockwell, Keith. We were the original Funky Four. A year and a half before I became the plus one more. Because Raheem left, went to Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Four at the time. They became the Furious Five. I left the same month that Raheem did. I came back to the Funky Four about a month or two later, and that's when I became the plus one. I was never the plus one. I was always the Funky Four. I was always a lyricist. I was always on the front line. You understand what I'm saying? So when you go back and you start telling these lies, I never wanted to do this, y'all. I never wanted to do it because I believe in sisterhood, the sisterhood all the way. I believe in that. But when you use my kindness for weakness, and you get on that, on the media forefront, and you trying to act like you don't know me, but you was out there, like you was doing that. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. And everybody that's on this line, everybody that is on Instagram that was there, everybody that was on Facebook that was there, they know Sha-Rock ran New York City. They know that before any of those females come out. I was the blueprint. And I have never had the opportunity to tell anybody in this format because I never wanted to bust them out like that. I thought they was going to come clean, and I thought they was going to tell the history and the true facts. But once again, let's go back to Coke La Rock. Coke La Rock was with Kool Herc from day one, 1973. Now, I already told you that my DJ Baron was with Kool Herc from 1973 to 1977. Coke La Rock left in 1976. But Coke La Rock told me, he said, look, Pebbly Pooh came later. She wasn't with us. She was never our MC. If she got on the mic, I don't know. I don't remember that. But she was never an MC in the beginning before 1979 for DJ Kool Herc. But she also tells the story. The reason why, and I'm bringing this up because it's not to disrespect, but y'all got to know how all of this played out. She tells the story that the reason why Kool Herc got rid of her, and this is what she told me. She told me that Kool Herc would never say that she was his first female MC because he was trying to get with her. That's what she told me.
Say he was trying to sleep with her.
She was trying to sleep. That's what she told me. But then she got on the media last week, a couple of months before, and say the reason why they got rid of her because DJ Clark Kent wanted to sleep with her, which was one of Kool Herc's DJs and the founding member of the Herculoids. And she said they also got rid of her because they wanted the light-skinned person in their group, a female MC. And that was Sweet and Sour. But I spoke to Clark Kent about a year or two ago. And Clark Kent said to me, the reason Peppy did come to get on the mic, but I pulled the plug on her because she was whack. Now, I'm not saying this. That man told me that. And there was two other people on the phone when that man told me that. Fly Ty. If anybody know Fly Ty out there, he was from Cold Chillin'. And Van Silk, who was a hip-hop promoter back then.
You want me to read her comment? Pebbly Pooh.
He was a hip-hop promoter back then. So my thing is that I'm not saying what it is. If anything that I'm saying wrong, you have people online right now. You have Dynamite that put this information out there right now to say that he was with Pebbly Pooh, that he gave her, the shot, in 1978 in the summer to perform. And my thing is that they say she online right now. It ain't about you, Pooh. Not now. Because I gave you the opportunity to come clean. I gave you the opportunity when you know I was out there on that street moving forward. So let me tell you what Sha-Rock is, and this is why Sha-Rock is the first female MC of hip-hop culture. I done did so much stuff that I got to tell you. I got to tell y'all if I hadn't mentioned it already. And the reason why I'm the first female MC of hip-hop culture. I'm a founding member of the MC rap battle culture. I'm the first female MC to ever be in rap battles with Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 4 and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. And I'm not just telling y'all this. I got flyers to prove it, and they will back me up. Grandmaster Flash, the Furious 5, the Furious 4, Melly Mel, we were the first to create the MC rap battles. Y'all hear me? I'm the first female MC in an all-male group. Now, mind you, before I got into the Funky Four in the beginning of '78, I was already rhyming. Now, I'm not just telling you that because people know. People know that that's what happened. I'm the first female MC, as I said, to usher in the rhyme cadence, the style of long-winded, continuous rap by introducing routines and harmonizing. I'm a founding member of the rap culture battle, as I told you. I'm also the first female MC to use the echo chamber that was inspired by Run DMC. The way that they did their song on Tougher Than Leather and all of that stuff. He said, listen, I want my voice on the echo chamber to sound like Sha-Rock. And that's what they did. So not only did I inspire men and women, I inspired a culture of MCs. I was the first female MCs, as I say, to be over 500 authentic flyers. And I'm not telling you that. I got proof. I'm on more flyers than any other female that came up in my era and then after. And I'm talking authentic hip hop flyers. I'm the first female MC to have a record deal. And I'm talking about authentic female MC to have a record deal. I was on the streets of the culture, playing in all those park jams, having the mighty, mighty Sasquatch with DJ Barron and DJ Breakout and Jazzy D to help my sound better than any other female MC that was out there. So when you hear people like Fat Joe or Pun, or Curtis Blow saying that Sha-Rock is dope, she's a dope MC, they didn't lie to y'all. They didn't lie to y'all. They didn't say that about nobody else coming from my era. And I'm just being real. Now, I'm the first female MC from the streets of New York, as I said, to have a record deal. My first record deal was 1979 on Enjoy Records. And then in 80, I signed to Sugar Hill Records, but our song didn't come out to 81. I'm the first female MC that was on national television, Saturday Night Live, with Debbie Harry. Y'all know the Caucasian woman, Debbie Harry. I'm the first female MC that on it. And the reason why she came to us is because she could have went to Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five because they were dope. They were dope MCs. He was a dope DJ. We were the two main groups in New York City and the Bronx at the time. And everybody out there was on the streets. They knew it. Flash, Flash's promoter, Ray Chandler, he know that we had the crowd. He know that we had the crowd coming from all over, the Bronx that was rocking with us, right? So even though, Breakout at one time, our DJ Breakout at one time lived downtown, in near 63 Park, and Barron lived on the west side, and they Breakout wound up moving to Uptown. We had Uptown on lock. We had anything in the 200s on lock. And so what Ray Chandler did, that was Flash's and the Furious Four promoter at that time, he wanted to ensure that we didn't split the money up. We didn't split the crowd up. So what he did was he brought us together and we started having parties together. African Bambaataa couldn't get nobody to come to Bronx River because Bronx River was ruthless. So what did he do? He formed an alliance with my crew, the Brothers Disco, with the Funky 4+1 or the Funky 4, and got us to come to Bronx River so we can be able to bring our crowds to them. You understand what I'm saying? So when you talk about the first female MC of hip hop culture, that's who the hell I am. I'm the first female MC with an hype crew that was called the Sisters Disco. So what they would do is that they knew my rhymes. They would go out to the crowd and they would say my rhymes. And the crowd will repeat it and say the same rhymes. They was also my security crew. So I was the first female MC to have a security crew. So when you talk about MC Sha-Rock, being the first female MC of hip hop culture, listen, I trailblazed the game. And so for anybody, any female MC to try to distract y'all with that, the first female soloist, y'all came after me. Y'all did not do what MC Sha-Rock did. So for now on, y'all, do not let them confuse y'all. Because I MC Sha-Rock. I have the flyers. I have the cassette tapes. I have the footage, the video footage. I have everything to solidify who I am. And what do they have before 1979? Pooh, you did me wrong. You did me wrong to get on national radio stations and all of those podcasts and told those people that you gave me the title. You didn't give me nothing. I took it. You didn't give me nothing. I earned it. You didn't give me nothing. You did me a disservice, and this is why we here right now. Sha-Rock is the first female MC of hip-hop culture. Sha-Rock is everything. Forget all that first female soloist stuff. Because I set it off. I set it off. Now, if anybody have any questions, I done broke it down and got my blood pressure up. And this is what happened. So if you have any questions, I hope that I answered y'all questions in this from this day forward. Y'all would know what it is. Y'all know what it is. And I have the streets of New York and every person, you know, a fan, you know, or hip-hop enthusiast that was back then to tell y'all that Pebbly Pooh was not on them streets. She was not on them parties. She was not in them clubs during the time that Sha-Rock was. See, I don't raise my own flag. The hip-hop community raised my flag. And they're going to speak up for me because they know the truth and they tired of it. I'm hoping that, you know, this will, you know, take care of everything, you know, that you want. And there ain't no rebuttals. There is no rebuttals that nobody can come back with because I got proof. And I got the streets of New York behind me to let y'all know everything that I say co-sign 100%.
Mathematics, entertainment, truth, history.